YouTube, it's your boy Carter TV. I got a story for y'all. This story is sad at the end of the day. Alright. So boom, it's this girl named Jennifer. You feel what I'm saying? Jennifer lives in Florida and she moved down there with her husband. 2 years. They got 3 kids together and she has a fourth kid who is with another man. Alright, so Jennifer's story starts off when she was living in New York. You know what I mean? She met a man named Daniel. Her and Daniel linked up. And what happened was she fell for Daniel real fast. You know what I'm saying? She fell for this guy real fast. Within 3 months, you know what I mean? She was all about Daniel this, Daniel that, Daniel this, Daniel that. She ends up getting pregnant by the 4th month. And Daniel blatantly was just like, I'm not ready for no kids right now. He basically was just like, I ain't ready for no kids. I'm still living at home. I ain't really got no job right now. I can't, he basically was like, I can't provide for you and a kid at this particular moment. I'm trying to get on my feet. So she thought that was just a way for him saying, I don't want no kids or disregard this and that and third. And at first, she was agreeing with him. Oh yeah, we both in a bad predicament. And this and that and third. But little did she know, Daniel also had another girl that he was dealing with, who was his main girlfriend at the time. And he was dealing with her and seeing her at the same time. So what happens now is Daniel was just like, I'm gonna cut her off and move forward with my life. And in the midst of him saying that, the main girlfriend got wind of who she was, and they both exchanged words and this and that and the third. So Daniel was caught in a dilemma, and the main girlfriend was just like, I'm done, this and that and the third. So Jennifer was like, oh, he got my baby on the way, this and that and the third. So her back to, her and Daniel speaking about the situation, right? So he ends up going to see Jennifer at his crib. It was like, yo, we agreed that we wasn't gonna have this kid. But all of a sudden, you telling my girl that you got a kid with me on the way, and she was like, your girl. All of a sudden, she your girl now. This and that and the third. Oh, she your girlfriend, so what am I? I was like, yo, you was somebody that shouldn't have been what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't have let it get this far. I apologize on my behalf. But she is somebody who I've been dealing with for 5 years, and you just came along and we was just kicking it. I didn't expect you to fall in love and have my kid, but I apologize on my behalf. This and that third. So she was just like, oh my God, this and that third. So Jennifer thought the main girlfriend broke up with Daniel. So she was like, I mean, your girlfriend broke up with you. Clearly, she don't want to be with you. Just, come be with me. We could be happy together. So Daniel basically told her, was like, yo, I'll be with you if you get rid of the baby. So Jennifer was like, well, I got to get rid of my baby for you to be with me. Why I got to get rid of my baby for you to be with me? Because I'm not ready for a baby right now. I just told you what the situation was. You agreed to it. So Jennifer, she agreed to get rid of the baby just to be around Daniel. In the midst of her doing that, the day she was supposed to get rid of it, she did not go to the appointment. And she went on social media and found out Daniel was still with the main girlfriend. So in the midst of that, she ends up keeping the kid. Right? She ends up keeping the kid. Daniel just wasn't with it. So being that she kept the kid, it was forcing Daniel to be a father, basically. So he basically was just like, all right, I'm gonna just do my part, and that's just that. So Jennifer was just like, we could do family. Like, she was still trying to have a family thing with Daniel. Daniel wasn't with it. You know what I mean? He didn't want the kid. He broke it off to you, and you just reneged on everything. So Daniel was just on his shit. It was just like, nah, I don't want no family thing. I just want to do right by my kid and move forward with my life. I don't want no parts of you, no nothing. So being that she told Daniel this, and other people was telling her like, yo, he don't want to be with you. Let the man just do his daddy duties and go about his life. She wasn't trying to hear that. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't trying to hear it. So she made it hard for him to have his kid. Whenever it was time for him to have a kid, she made some excuse of why she couldn't bring him, or she made some excuse of why the baby couldn't stay long. You know, she was making it real hard for him, and she put him on child support. She did all the shenanigans, right? So in the midst of that, Daniel and the main girlfriend end up having a kid of their own together. They end up having a kid together. He ended up marrying a girl. That made Jennifer real jealous. She ends up moving on with her life with somebody else who she met at work within 2 weeks, had this man's kids, and then she decided to say, I'm done with New York. I'm moving to Florida. So she goes to Florida with her 4 kids and her new husband. In the midst of her being in Florida, she gets her body done. You know what I'm saying? She gets her body done. She's in a new job. She's in a new space. And the husband is basically stuck at home taking care of the kids while she's doing all of this. About a year go by of her being in Florida. She makes new friends. She meets another guy. She meets a guy named Tyshawn. This guy, Tyshawn, he's a bodybuilder. He works at the gym. You know, he's a fitness dude. She meets him at the gym. They spark a connection real fast. And she ends up having an affair with this man. She was having an affair with this man for about 2 months, having an affair. Everything was going smooth. She was happy. She had Tyshawn on the side. She had a husband. She had a kid. She thought life was good. Right? In the midst of her having an affair, the oldest child get wind of the affair. The child from Daniel. She gets wind. The child is a girl. She gets wind of the mom having an affair. She noticed the mother's having an affair. She's at the age where she could tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? She's a 12-year-old girl. She knows what's going on. She knows about sex. She knows about certain things. And her and the mother get in a heated argument where she be like, oh, why you still having this guy come around? When, you know, she calls her stepdad dad when he's not here. And this is all happening over the dinner table. Her daughter and Jennifer was having a conversation where the daughter wanted to go hang out and stay at a friend's house over the weekend. The mother said no. So that caused a heated argument over the dinner table. It calls for the daughter to blurt out the fact that you still see you sleeping around with the dude at the gym, this and the third. So the husband was like, you sleeping around on me? Like, this is what we doing? It causes a whole heated argument between the mother and the daughter and the husband and the wife. She basically tells the husband, I ain't having no affair. I'm just going to the gym with a fellow partner as my trainer, this and the third. So the husband didn't believe it. He's like, you going to the gym with this dude you see him frequently? Why would your daughter feel so comfortable saying it's an affair? Why she feel so comfortable? If you brought this man to the house, this is why you've been all happy lately, because you seeing somebody else on the side. So she was just like, no. So she had to stop seeing Tyshawn for about a week. She stopped seeing him just to prove to the husband she's not having an affair. She also tells the daughter, like, yo, what you did was wrong. You stirring up problems in my household. And if you do it again, I'll be forced to put you out. You could go live with your father back in New York for all I care. And the daughter wasn't expecting that kind of answer from my mother. So the daughter was just like, I'd rather go live with him than stay here. And they got into another heated argument. And in the midst of them getting into a heated argument, the mother's phone rang. Jennifer's phone rang. And it's Tyshawn. And she answers it. It was just like, yo, I ain't see you in a while. What's been going on? She was like, I can't talk right now. I'm talking to my daughter. The daughter go, no, you ain't talking to me because I'm leaving. So the daughter dips out the crib. So she tries to stop her, but she yanks from my mother. And in the midst of her yanking from my mother, Jennifer falls back and hits her head. Jennifer watches her mother lay there. She knocks out. The daughter left. Jennifer woke up too. She had a big headache. She had a little speed down the back of her head from, falling backwards. The husband comes home with the other 3 kids. Like, are you all right? You look like a little woozy. So she goes, where's your oldest daughter at? She was like, she ran off. I don't know where she ran to. So in the midst of them about to call 911, the daughter walks in the crib. She gets dropped off by a couple friends. And the husband was just like, yo, where you was at? She was like, I went for a walk. This and the third. She's like, why did you leave your mother the way she was? She was like, what are you talking about? So Jennifer was just like, no, leave it alone. I'm gonna pack her shit and send her to live with her fucking dad. She wanna disrespect me and push me. And so the father was just like, you push your mom? She was like, I didn't push her. She grabbed me and I yanked back and my mother slipped and she hit her head. She knocked out and I walked out. So she was like, you just left your mother there? She was like, yeah, I left her there. I was upset. I didn't care for what happened to her at the time. But for mom, she was like, I apologize, mom, for anything, for any, disturbance that I caused you, this and third. So the husband was basically on the mother's side the whole time. And basically what happens now, the family goes back to normal. But Jennifer is still having this affair. She's still seeing Tyshawn. She's thinking the daughter don't know. What the daughter ended up doing is following her mother. One day she was supposed to have went to school. The mother jumps in the car and leaves. Now, this day in particular, Jennifer was off from work. She had no work today. She was supposed to be home with the 3 boys, which she ended up calling the neighbor to come over. And the daughter was just like, she called the neighbor to come over. The husband had just got a new job. He was starting that day. And she called the neighbor over, to watch the kids for a few minutes. I'm going to run some errands. I'll be back within an hour. So the daughter hears this, follows the mother, follow her on her bicycle, following her. She goes to the gym. The little girl sneaks in the gym, right? She sneaks in the gym and sees her mother talking to the dude now. The daughter never knew what Tyshawn looked like. The father didn't know what he looked like. All they knew was he was somebody at the gym. So they get to the gym, or she gets to the gym, she sees the dude. She takes a picture of the dude. She takes a picture of them interacting with each other, hugging up. He's on her body, he's touching her in places he shouldn't be. For this to be your gym partner, he sure is very touchy. So the little girl gets a video of this and that. So later on, at the dinner table, Jennifer's asking everybody how was their day. So the daughter goes, how was yours? Mind you, the daughter's been on punishment for a while. So the daughter opens the conversation with, I know I'm on punishment, but is it possible can I go to the dance this weekend? It's on Friday. The house been calm. So the dad agreed to let her go. The mother was like, no, you're still on punishment. School activities are off limits until you're done your punishment. And she's like, that's not for another week. She was like, I don't know what to tell you. So the husband gets up, clean up for the 3 kids. And she was like, the daughter goes, well, you told dad you wasn't having an affair no more. So Jennifer opens her eyes like, all right, what are you talking about? I'm not. So she pulls out her phone and shows her the video. So the mother's taken back like, where did you get this? How did you get this? This and third. I want to go to the dance. Either I go to the dance or dad knows what's going on. So the mother was like, fine, you can go to the dance. The daughter gets up, thank you, she blackmails her mother. So her mother speaks to Tyshawn and she tells Tyshawn, like, my daughter's planning on blurting out my affair. And just in that happening, the father wins the Mega Million. He wins us some money. And in the midst of that going on, this is the time for the daughter to really take control of the situation, which Tyshawn, he heard about the fact that her husband wants some money. And she was like, I know you don't want to be with him no more, so just, find a way to get rid of him, blame it on, he was coming up with this plan of getting rid of the daughter and get rid of the husband, taking the 3 kids and the money and getting up out of town. So Jennifer was like, all right, I agree to that. I love you, Tyshawn. I want to be with you, this and that. Now, this is just like what she did with Daniel. She fell in love with this man real fast. And Tyshawn's motive was to get to the money and then dead Jennifer. So what happens now is, Jennifer gets one of the neighbors to pick up her oldest daughter, right? Take her to a location and drop her there and say, I'm going to meet my daughter there. The daughter is puzzled by this information because she wasn't notified of this. What happens now is Jennifer invites her friend. This throws off the whole plan. She invites her friend. Her friend comes along, and then the driver drops both of them off. Tyshawn wasn't expecting her friend to be there. So what happens now is the friend walks off and say, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna go to the store here. I'll be right back." Tyshawn snatches up the daughter from behind, take her in an abandoned building, and the friend is lost about where the daughter went. So he thought she must have left. What happens now is he calls the phone. The little boy calls, the girl phone. He finds the phone on the floor. So he like, something must have happened. Something must have happened. So he ends up leaving, taking her phone and going to see if she's at the crib. So what happens now is Tyshawn and the mother, Jennifer, comes back. They kill the little girl and what happens is Jennifer rushes back home to report her missing. So in the midst of that happening, they find the phone at the little boy's crib, and the little boy was like, "Oh, me and I was together yesterday. She left her phone. I thought I'd bring it back to her when she go back to school the next day." So the police was questioning him. They was just like, "All right, when is the last time you see her?" Last time we seen her when the driver dropped her off. The neighbor dropped her off at this location. So a month went by. They was investigating the situation. They investigated the driver. The driver told the police that the mother asked me to pick her up, drop off at this location, and then leave. It was just supposed to be the daughter by herself, but apparently the little boy wanted to come along. I best go with her. Whatever situation, I dropped both of them off and I left. So the boy basically, he was able to provide for the story on the driver. So the driver checked out. The little boy checked out. They dig deeper into the situation, and they go back to where Jennifer was last seen at. What happens now is Tyshawn kills Jennifer, buries her body behind the warehouse, but by burying her, he buries her 8 feet deep, and he also buries a couple of dead animals on top of her. So just in case they come and dig her up. Now, the mother is still in distress, this and third. The father just got the money. He's like clueless to what's going on. The police show up and tell the husband, like, your wife was having an affair. And what happens is the little boy goes through the daughter's phone and sees the videos of her mother talking to another dude who's not her dad. So he basically sends those videos to himself. The cops find the videos. The cops tell the husband that the wife was having an affair. The wife wants a divorce. You know what I'm saying? He wants a divorce and leave Jennifer alone. What happens now is the husband all of a sudden dies after the fact that she wanted a divorce. He dies, she poisoned him, and she covers that up. Now, she ends up having a whole relationship 6 months later. Her daughter's been missing for past 8 months. They still ain't found her. And the husband dies 2 months later after that. With that going on, she ends up taking the money. She ends up getting the money from when her husband won the lottery, the Mega Million, and living this life with Tyshawn 6 months later. What he ends up doing is he ends up milking her out of every dime she has and leaving her. Right? And leaving her. Cops find new evidence stating a conversation between Tyshawn and Jennifer about killing the little girl. They bring her in, they question her, and they arrest. And what she does is, being that Tyshawn milked her all, she says, "Tyshawn told me if I don't kill this little girl, get rid of her, he's gonna kill my whole family. So I sacrificed my daughter for this and that and the third." She basically blames everything on Tyshawn. They end up finding Tyshawn, arresting him for the murder of the little girl, and they end up finding more evidence on her killing her husband. Now, she does 5 years off of killing her husband, and she also gets additional 25 to life for killing and staging her daughter's murder. Tyshawn gets life in prison with the possibility without parole, and her 3 kids is left in the foster system. You know what I'm saying? They were still young. They was all under the age of 10, and they're going to grow up without both parents. All because she wanted to save her affair, and she thought she was in love with a man who was after that money. It's your boy Carter TV, man, and I'm out.